and it's great to have a little bit of one-upmanship every now and again when it comes to a holiday. I did that with Cuba a long time ago. I thought I'd be the only one who went to Cuba, but unfortunately it seemed the whole world and his dog had been there. But Namibia, I'm still winning on that one. Not many people have been there. But anyway, speaking to Ian about the Cook Islands, and we're going to find out where they are.
Ian, can you just explain what the Cook Islands are, please, and their history?
Sure. Cook Islands, we are a group of 15 islands. We're self-governing islands, and we're right in the heart of the Polynesian Triangle. So for those people that don't know where the Polynesian Triangle is, it encompasses New Zealand up to Hawaii and then to Easter Island. So anywhere within that triangle is a Polynesian destination. So we share our heritage with those islands, plus also sister islands in French Polynesia, Samoa, Tonga, etc. We were first sighted by Captain Cook in 1773, and then in the last 100 to 150 years, the missionaries came in and brought Christianity to the islands.
Are they all inhabited?
Out of the 15, no, we have about 12 are inhabited. The main island of Rarotonga has a population of about 12,000 out of the total population of about 17,000. And then in the other islands, Aitutaki, we have about 1,200 people, and then it gets smaller and smaller to a point where some of the islands in the northern group of the Cooks, we're split between southern and northern group, have populations of less than 100 people.
So in terms of population, they're a lot smaller than the Caribbean islands?
We're a lot smaller. Cook Islanders are given New Zealand passports, so you'll actually find the largest population of Cook Islanders are found in Auckland. Auckland has about 40,000 Cook Islanders living there, so more actually than in the whole of the Cooks.
Are all the islands the same, or do they have their own character?
They're all different. So first of all, if you look at the geology or the geography of the islands, all of them were created volcanically, as all the islands in the South Pacific. And then you have high mountainous islands such as Rarotonga, so has a mountainous interior, a number of peaks. You then have the atolls, which millions of years ago would have looked like Rarotonga, but have sunk in on themselves, literally leaving the coral reef as the island, and a big lagoon in the middle. And then we have a third type of island which would have looked like the coral reefs or these atolls, but then have risen again. So you now find the coral reef on these particular islands sits at about 20 metres high, and you can still see the fossilised fish 20 metres above sea level. In terms of people, everybody's friendly in Polynesia, that's without a doubt. But as you get to the smaller islands, obviously it becomes far closer knit communities, and perhaps less visitors as well. So the welcome will be very different, although it will always be warm and friendly.
Warm and friendly, that's always nice to hear.
Isn't it just, yeah.
What are the entry requirements for a UK traveller?
There are no specific entry requirements. We issue a visa on arrival for up to 31 days, and just need to show a return ticket and accommodation during the stay. Because all the entry points are from either the USA, from Australia or New Zealand, we allow our kind of bigger neighbours to do all the formalities, and we know if people can go through any of those points, then they're pretty much clear to come and stay with us.
Right, so things like restrictions on food or whatever is all taken care of by
as long as you declare, yeah. So absolutely. So if you can't take any foodstuffs at all into Australia or New Zealand, so but if you're bringing jams from New Zealand, for example, or chocolate bars, as long as you declare them on arrival, there won't be a problem importing them.
You've already mentioned that the locals have New Zealand passports, but do they have their own currency?
We use the New Zealand dollar, so everything is priced in New Zealand dollar, and New Zealand notes and coinage are in circulation throughout the Cooks. We, however, do have our own notes and coins as Cook Islands. We have a $3 note, which is quite unusual, and we also have triangular coins in circulation as well. The Cook Island coins, whilst on par with the New Zealand dollar, can only be used within the Cook Islands. So if you end up with a pocket full when you arrive in Auckland, you're not going to be able to use them. But they're quite unusual, so quite a nice souvenir to take with you. Also, we accept credit cards throughout, certainly Rarotonga, Aitutaki, and in some of the properties in the smaller islands. And we have cash machines on the two main islands as well, Rarotonga, Aitutaki.
Seeing you've got unusual currency, isn't there a danger you're going to be running out?
Then we use the New Zealand dollar.
Yep.
So, in fact, we don't have a huge amount of it in circulation. To actually get Cook Island notes handed back is quite rare now. It is just the New Zealand dollar that's in circulation.
The climate, is there a best time of year to visit? Are there any problems with cyclones?
In terms of climate, we have an all-year-round, we'd like to promote ourselves an all-year-round destination. The temperature will very rarely go above 30 degrees Celsius and very rarely go below 20 degrees Celsius. So year-round, we're in that band. Likewise, sunshine, each month we rarely get under 160, 170 hours of sunshine. So we get very good climate. What we also get as a tropical island, quite heavy rainfall, and the rain from November through to March can be quite heavy, but tends to be 1 or 2 hours early morning or into the evening, and then the rest of the day it's beautiful. So tropical showers. We're a little bit too far south to get cyclones, certainly in Rarotonga, but as you go further into up, so towards Aitutaki and then further up into the northern group, cyclones, you're more likely to get them. But as not many tourists go into the northern group, it certainly won't impact the visitor. So we're very fortunate in the climate we have.
That's really good. Nice to have that. I've just been in the Caribbean. It's hurricane season. Everybody's worried about it.
Yeah, sure. So we don't have that worry at all. We get the odd low depression and storms, but nothing too major to worry about.
Amongst all the islands, is there an official language?
English is one of the official languages, and then Cook Island Maori is spoken, and in each of the islands it would have a slightly different dialect. So, for example, if you went up to, say, Puka Puka, which is the northern group, the dialect is a little bit closer to Samoan because the island lies closer to the islands of Samoa, but everyone will speak English.
That's also handy because that's all I speak.
Yeah.
I'm a lazy British traveller.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think so. Many of the visitors from New Zealand and from Australia also fall into that camp as well.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org.
This is Seclo Sounds. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour in the company of Harry and Edna on the Wires, exploring all aspects of the vintage scene and playing tip-top gramophone tunes. Harry and Edna on the Wireless, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on seclosounds.org. Jolly good.
Sound the big thing now.
Hi, blessings to each and every one of you. Join me, Darren Hoy, with the Reggae Takeover Show for 2 hours of the finest reggae vibes, each and every Wednesday, 9 through to 11 p.m, here on Seclo Sounds. Don't miss out on your weekly Sunshine Fix, featuring roots, rude boy, dub, lovers rock, ska, one drop, and much, much more. So go on, give your sound system a treat. Join me, wind down low, and skank the night away. One love. That's Wednesdays, 9 through to 11 p.m, live on Seclo Sounds.
It's a top, my selector.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. If you're one of the lucky people who've been to the Cook Islands, please do share your experiences at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. We're now going to find out from Ian, once you get there, if it's easy enough to get around.
Is it easy to get around the islands? Can visitors hire cars?
Yeah, all people will arrive on Rarotonga, the main island, is where the international airport is. It's a round island, circumference is 32 kilometres, so 20 miles, with just one continuous road around the island, so you can't even get lost. So to get around Rarotonga, you can go by bus. We have 2 buses every hour. One goes clockwise around the island, one goes anti-clockwise, and if you get on and then you stay until you reach your start point again, it will take about 45 minutes. Alternatively, you can hire a car, or you can hire a scooter or a motorbike. You can cycle around the island easily in 2 hours. If you are going to hire a car or a scooter, we don't accept the UK or international driving licence. You will need a Cook Islands licence, which you apply for at the police station. Very simple process, and it will cost you around $20. You present your current licence, and then you get given your Cook Islands driving licence, which is actually valid throughout the world. If you're going to hire a scooter, same procedure, apart from you have to do a test as well. So that's an additional $5, and then you get your scooter licence. So the speed limit, pretty much in most of the town areas, is 20, 25. We have one stretch of road that reaches about 50 kilometres per hour. So nothing's too fast.
So as well as your $3 note, you're going to have a driving licence as a souvenir as well?
Absolutely, yeah. And like I say, it's a valid one, so you can use it for all sorts of things when you're travelling outside of the Cooks.
How about getting between the islands? Is it done by boat or is it by flying?
We only have scheduled air services. So Air Rarotonga are our domestic airline, and they're based in Rarotonga, and then will service all the outer islands. Pretty much Aitutaki, which is the most visited island, they'd have anything up to 4 flights per day in each direction. Some of the other islands there probably have up to 5 flights per week. Sunday, being a religious day, is quite a limited service, and only 2 flights a day to Aitutaki. Typically the flights will take to all the islands about 40 minutes, unless you're going out to the Northern Group, and then you're looking at 3 to 4 hour flights. And the flights are only going every 3 to 4 weeks. So, as you can imagine, not many people are blessed to spend that much time in the Cooks.
No. With the reduced service on a Sunday, does that mean it's more of an additional culture and it's not 24/7?
Absolutely. Religion is very important to Cook Islands. We would encourage all visitors to go to church on a Sunday morning. The service takes place in Cook Island Maori and English, and then afterwards the layman or the priest would take you to their house, and you can have tea and coffee and learn a little about the community that you've just been involved in the church service. Nothing else then happens on a Sunday. It's frowned upon to do any kind of work, but bars and restaurants are open. But certainly the shops are closed. In fact, they close at 12 o'clock on a Saturday. So all the way through to Monday, it's very much very little to do in terms of shopping and commerce.
I'm old enough to remember that back here in England.
Me too.
Yeah. Seems such a long time ago. Are there any other local customs that must be followed, such as no topless sunbathing, that sort of thing?
Yep, absolutely. Topless sunbathing is a great example. Whilst Cook Islands are very friendly, they're not like our French Polynesian neighbours, where they've had that French influence and they understand topless bathing. So a little bit of modesty is expected from everybody. But it's a casual place. As a man, you don't need to take long trousers to the Cook Islands. Even the most formal functions, everyone will be wearing shorts. And, women will go out, put a flower in their hair as the last thing they do as they're walking from their front door to the car, pick a flower out of the hedge and pop it behind one ear. So it's fairly relaxed, but a little bit modest as well.
With my legs, I'll make sure I'll be wearing long trousers anyway. I just can't get them out in shorts.
Bit of sun on them.
No. They call me Bambi at football. That's the sort of legs I've got.
Right, okay.
Not my favourite feature.